Well, hello, and today we're going to make some hot cross buns, but with a little bit of a difference, because we're going to make them into a beautiful ring shape, glaze them with a spiced honey, and then put a nice dish of spiced honey butter in the middle. So really, I think this Easter, more than any, my challenge to you all is, why don't you make something at home and leave it outside the door of a family member or a neighbour, just as a sort of Easter message to say that we're thinking of you. So this is a really nice recipe. Now we've got 500 grams of strong bread flour in here. You do need a white one for this recipe. And in this pan here, I've melted 50 grams of butter into 300 mils of milk. Doesn't matter if it's full or skimmed. And you need to just let that cool to a sort of what we call a hand hot temperature. First things first, I am going to mix in a teaspoon of salt, just a little bit more there, to my flour. Now the salt flavours the dough, but it also helps to strengthen the gluten, which is the protein in the dough which makes it nice and elasticy. And this is an enriched dough, so I've got 85 grams of caster sugar going in there. And I'm also going to put a teaspoon of cinnamon because I want a nice spiciness to these hot cross buns. Do you like a hot cross bun, Libby?
Again, I can't eat them.
Well, did you used to like a hot cross bun?
No.
Oh.
They're all right, but I've never choose to have one.
I love a hot cross bun.
But I would always have crisps over anything sweet anyway, or cheese if I could eat cheese.
Bag of crisps. What flavour crisps?
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar. Oh, I see how much cheese and onion.
Or sweet chilli. So many crisp flavours.
Anyway, I love a hot cross bun.
I do like one, to be fair. I do like them, but I would never get them.
I love them toasted with lots of butter on.
I'll tell you what I do like is saffron cake.
Yeah.
Saffron bread.
Saffron maybe do some saffron buns. Do a throwback to Cornwall one, maybe.
Throwback?
Well, it's not throwback to Cornwall, but do a bit of a Cornish-inspired feel-good series.
Yeah.
Right, so I've mixed in the cinnamon. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to crack an egg and beat that up a little bit. Ready to add with my milk and butter. But before then, I'm going to put the magic ingredient. Now, this is quite a heavy dough because we've got egg, we've got milk, we've got butter, we've got lots of sugar in. So I'm going to put 2 sachets of easy blend dried yeast into this mixture to give it a really good rise. And then I'm going to make a little well in the middle. I'm going to mix that egg into the milk. So obviously it needs to be warm, but not warm enough to actually
scramble the egg.
Start to scramble the egg. Oh, I had a nice bit of scrambled egg this morning. Love a bit of scrambled egg. Bacon, didn't have that. Right, now I'm going to pour in enough of this to make your slurping today.
Iced coffee today because of the weather.
Oh, look at that sunshine out there. I'm going to add enough of this mix to make a sticky dough. Now, I might need all of it. I might just need some of it. I might need all of it plus a little bit of warm water as well. So it just depends on sort of temperature of the room, humidity of the room, all sorts of other reasons. I think I'm going to need a bit of warm water too. This is feeling quite dry, this mix. It can even be how the flour is stored. So I'm just going to put a bit of hand hot water into there. Just adding a little bit of hand hot water. So in that rinsed out pan. Ooh, that's a horrible noise. And just making sure that we've got all the dry mixture at the bottom mixed in. There we go, that's about right. So what we should end up with is quite a sort of sticky dough that's going to go a lot more firm and lose the stickiness whilst we're kneading it. So I've just got a dish of sort of bit of extra flour there. Now, if you've watched my bread roll video, you'll have seen how to knead already, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a recap. So, sort of draw a V in the flour on the worktop, and you want to use this bit of your hand. You want to stretch it in one direction and pull it back. You want to stretch it in the other direction and pull it back. And you want to speed that up. So this is going to take quite a bit of time and quite a bit of energy. And it's going to end up going from looking sort of all like brain-like and sticky to smooth and elastic. Whew, I'm a bit puffed after that. Good workout. Right, you can see we've got a much stretchier dough now that's really nice and smooth, and if you press it, it bounces back. So what we're going to do now is pop this into an oiled bowl. I just need to wash this bowl a moment. In bowl, a little bit of oil in there, and then I'm going to pop my dough in. The oil's to make sure it doesn't stick. Now, I've got a bit of a problem because I would normally say, I haven't got a problem, cover it in cling film. I thought I'd run out.
No, I got some more yesterday. Neil did. Yesterday, day before, can't remember.
So if by magic more cling film appeared. Amazing, this house. Right, hold on. Okay, so we want to just oil a bit of cling film and loosely place that over the top. And then we want to leave this in a warm place. So on a warm day like today, it can just be out in the kitchen or near to the oven or in an airing cupboard. And you want to leave it for about an hour until that dough has doubled in size. So let's have a look at this. Doubled in size, beautiful dough. And what we want to do now is what we call knock it back. So pull this dough out onto a lightly floured worktop. And then we are going to knead in the mixed fruit. I've got 100 grams here of dried mixed fruit. And literally we're just going to pull this all in. And then knead it again to just get that fruit nicely incorporated through the dough.
Flying everywhere.
There we go. Oh, it smells lovely, cinnamony, yeasty, really delish. So there we go, I've kneaded it again, it's nice and smooth again. And you just need to make sure that fruit is nicely distributed. Now, we're going to cut it into approximately 11 pieces, because yet again, it's all about putting the 11 disciples on, or well, we're going to make a ring, and each one is to represent one of the disciples, but not Judas, the 12th. He betrayed Jesus. So that's what the Easter sort of symbolism and message with all 11 things in food is about. Now, if you were on Bake Off, you would weigh these, but I'm just going to sort of judge it, trying not to cut into too many of the pieces of dried fruit. Lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Perfect.
10. Oh, not quite. I have to just put a few bits onto some others. Like that. Okay, so I've got my 11 balls. And what I'm going to do now is make them into a roll shape. So you just want to flatten them out a little bit, and then a bit like I did for the bread rolls in that video, you want to pull them all the way around into the middle, which should give a nice rounded edge on the top. And then what we're going to do onto a large floured baking tray, just make a circle. So there we go, my 11 balls of dough. So you want to get them into as best as a circle you can, with the balls just touching each other. And then another piece of cling film, oiled, and you want to leave it for a second rise. until the balls have doubled in size. Then we're going to put the crosses on them, glaze them and pop them into the oven. So I've whisked up the flour, well actually Libby has, with enough water to sort of make a gloopy paste, which is for the crosses. And this is where it gets a little bit messy. You just need to tip this into a piping bag. Oh, move my salsa that I was making in the bean burgers. And just tip this in. I was just saying to Libby, it is a long old process, these hot cross buns, but it is worth it. You've got to trust me. Oh, there's 3 baby bunnies on the lawn. Bless them. Dixie stuff. Okay, so get ready, get that twisted off ready.
I suppose if you didn't want to go through the faff of doing a piping bag, you could just drizzle them over using a spoon.
Yeah, you could, although it is easier this way. So if you have a look now, they have risen and sort of squidged together. Squidged being a technical term. And I'm just going to snip the end off here, and it literally is pouring out already. So what we're going to do is, working as quickly as we can, one lot, whoops, fill that bit in there. I think we could have had this a bit thicker on retrospect. And then across. Finish the crosses. So we're going to take these off the baking tray, so don't worry too much if you've got mixture on the tray. There we go. And then that's going to go into the oven about 180 for about 20 minutes. The light's always gone. This has pretty much taken us all afternoon, hasn't it, Libby?
It has.
It's a labour of love.
I'm not sure I wouldn't just go and buy some, for being honest.
Do you know what though? Hot cross buns have like gone a bit rogue in the supermarket.
I don't think they're at the top of Tesco and everyone else's priorities right now.
I mean, you can get like apple and cinnamon, you can get blueberry and orange. I mean, what's wrong with a classic hot cross bun? Not that this is. So, out the oven, golden, hollow. I've let them completely cool on a lovely board. And now this is a mixture of warmed honey, cinnamon and ginger, which we're going to paint all over to get that glorious...
Yes, that is a paintbrush.
Glossy. It is a paintbrush. I have lost my pastry brush.
But this is a new one.
And so I had a new set of paintbrushes. I've got to say, I don't think I'd go back to a pastry brush actually. Because I hate it when pastry brushes, you put them in the dishwasher and they lose all their bristles. Don't know whether these will, but anyway, so paint this all over. Now, the recipe that I'm going to give you serves this with a honey spiced butter. So effectively butter, which is creamed with cinnamon and ginger, very much like the glaze that's gone on here. And to be honest, it's glorious, but at the moment, I don't want to waste the whole pack of butter just on a spiced honey filling, because we're shopping once a week as opposed to most days. So I'm not going to do that, but please, you know, at other times do try the spiced butter. It really is delish. So we've got that lovely ring, and I've got a really nice pack of Cornish butter with sea salt that I'm just going to open, pop in the middle, and let everybody tear and share.